"Can we rent your room for a while?" the twins said. Black single dad rents a room to two strange college twin girls, and from the first night, something about them feels different. He never expected their presence that night to interfere with his peaceful life and his little daughter's safety. Eric Mason stood in Dayton hardware store, looking at a shelf filled with plumbing parts. He held a small list in his hand, trying to figure out what he needed to fix the dripping sink in his guest bathroom. Money was tight, and even small repairs mattered. He picked up a pack of washers and read the label closely, hoping he got it right on the first attempt. Just as he reached for another pack, a hand grabbed his arm. He almost dropped everything. "Eric, dear," Helen said. Eric turned around and saw his neighbor from Riverside Street. Helen was older, sharp, and known for paying attention to everything that happened in the neighborhood. She looked worried, more worried than usual, and her grip on his arm was firm. "Helen." "Hi," Eric said, gently trying to move his arm away. "What is going on?" Helen leaned closer. "Do you know who those girls are? The ones staying in your house?" Eric felt unsettled. "Anna and Kate," he said slowly. "They are final year students from University of Florida. They just needed a room until they graduate." Helen shook her head. "No, Eric, you do not understand," she said quietly. "They are the Coulson twins." Eric stared at her. The name meant nothing to him. He frowned. "What are you talking about?" Helen took out her phone with hands that were shaking slightly. She tapped the screen, searching for something, then turned the phone toward him. "Here, look." On the screen were two clear photos of two young women. Both blonde, both with serious green eyes, both dressed in fancy clothes. They looked like they came from a family with money and status. They also looked exactly like Anna and Kate. Eric felt something drop inside him. He whispered, "That cannot be right. They never said anything like this." Helen nodded. "Their mother is Maria Coulson, the same woman who owns big tech companies in California and New York. She is one of the richest women in the country. Those girls vanished from their university 3 weeks ago. No one knew where they went. People said they ran away. Their story is everywhere, Eric. I heard women talking about it at Tampa Fresh Market." Eric felt the washers fall from his hand. He suddenly felt lightheaded. His mind ran in circles. If this was true, then the two girls living in his home were not just students. They were billionaire Harrises. Missing Harrises. And if their mother found out they were in his house, what would she think? Would she believe he kidnapped them? Would she call the police? Would she use her power to destroy him? He was a simple man with a small income and a young daughter. He could not fight someone like Maria Coulson. Eric walked out of the store without buying anything. He went straight to his truck, sat in the driver's seat, and tried to breathe. He needed to stay calm, but his mind kept jumping to Zoe. If this situation turned bad, his little girl could lose everything. He could lose her. He drove home, but he barely remembered the road. All he could think about was how quickly a peaceful life could turn into a nightmare. When he reached Riverside Street House, he stopped in the driveway and stared at the front door. Everything looked normal, but he no longer felt calm. He forced himself to go inside. What he saw made him pause. Zoe was sitting on the living room floor with Anna and Kate. Zoe's hair had been braided neatly. She wore her pink dress, and she was smiling widely. Anna was helping her make a bracelet with colorful threads. Kate was reading a picture book in funny voices that made Zoe laugh louder and louder. The scene was peaceful, almost too peaceful. They looked like they belonged there. They looked like family. And for a moment, Eric wished he could forget what Helen told him, but he could not. Zoe noticed him and ran over. "Daddy, look! Anna made my hair pretty and Kate is reading the dragon story. Can we have spaghetti tonight, please?" Eric tried to smile, but he could not keep it steady. His heart hurt. "Sweetie," he said softly, "why do you not go upstairs for a few minutes?" "Daddy needs to talk to Anna and Kate." Zoe looked confused. She looked back at the girls, then at her father. She did not argue, but her shoulders dropped. She walked up the stairs slowly and closed her bedroom door. Eric turned back to the girls. Anna and Kate were standing now. Their faces had gone pale, and fear showed clearly in their eyes. They already knew something was wrong. Eric took a breath. His voice was low and shaking. "You two are not just students. You are the Coulson twins." Anna's eyes filled with tears. Kate looked down at the floor. They did not speak. They did not deny it. They just stood there, silent, waiting for whatever would come next. Eric felt anger, fear, and confusion all fighting inside him. "Why did you not tell me?" he asked quietly, his voice breaking. "Why come to my house? Why hide this from me? Do you know what kind of trouble this could bring? I have a daughter to protect. I cannot be dragged into something that could destroy us." Anna stepped forward a little, her hands shaking. "Eric, please," she said. "We can explain." Eric shook his head quickly. "My neighbor showed me your pictures. Your mother is Maria Coulson. She is powerful. She has connections. If she finds you here, she might think I am involved. She might think I am holding you. One wrong move, and I could lose everything, even Zoe." Kate wiped her eyes. "We did not want to put you in danger," she said softly. "Then why did you come here?" Eric asked. "Tell me the truth." Anna looked at her sister. Kate nodded slowly. Then Anna turned back to Eric. "We had nowhere else to go." Eric stared at her, confused and overwhelmed. "What do you mean?" Anna swallowed hard. "Our mother is not what people think she is," she said quietly, and her voice trembled. "She does not let us make our own choices. She tried to force my sister and me into a life we did not want. When we refused, she punished us. She froze everything, our cards, our accounts, everything we needed to survive." Eric felt his anger soften a little, but not enough to trust them yet. "You could have told me," he said quietly. "You should have told me." Kate covered her face with her hands. "We were scared," she whispered. "We were so scared." The room fell silent. Eric stood there, fighting between fear and sympathy, unsure what to do next, unsure if keeping them in his home was a mistake or the right thing. But one thing was certain: nothing in his life would ever be the same after this moment. The room felt heavy as Eric stood facing Anna and Kate. They looked small, scared, and unsure of what would happen next. The shock he felt earlier had not faded, and his heart was beating fast. He rubbed his forehead slowly, trying to gather his thoughts. "Please," Anna said quietly, "we promise we can explain everything. Just give us a chance." Eric looked away from them for a moment. He walked to the armchair and sat down because his legs felt weak. He took a deep breath. "Start talking," he said softly, "and do not hide anything. I need to know exactly what is going on." Kate looked at Anna, and Anna gave a small nod. Kate wiped her cheeks with her sleeve and stepped forward a little. "Our mother," Kate began, "she never let us live like normal people. She controlled everything, from where we studied to what we ate. She decided what clothes we wore, what events we attended, what photos we took. Nothing was ever our choice." Anna continued. "When I turned 23, she made a plan for my life without even asking me. She said I would marry a man named Mark. He is much older than me, and she wanted the marriage to join two companies. She said it was the best thing for the family." Eric frowned. "How old is he?" he asked quietly. 42, Anna whispered. Eric felt anger rise in his chest. He did not shout, but his voice sounded rough. "And your mother wanted you to marry him. She did not care how I felt," Anna said. "She wanted the deal to work, so she treated me like a piece of property." Kate stepped closer to her sister. "When Anna refused, I supported her. We promised to stand together. We told our mother we wanted to live our own lives." "And what did she do?" Eric asked, though he already feared the answer. "She froze everything," Kate replied. "Our bank accounts, our cards, our trust funds, everything. She made sure we had no money and no way to stay in school or pay rent. She wanted to force us back home. We left our dorm with $93 and slept in our car for a week." Anna nodded slowly. "We were cold, we were hungry, and we were scared. We did not know what to do. Every day felt worse. We kept thinking she would find us and we would lose everything." Eric listened quietly. Part of him was still angry for being kept in the dark, but another part felt something else, something heavier. These two young women had lived through fear he could barely imagine. Kate took a step toward him. "We found your room listing on a library computer," she said. "It was the only place we could afford with the little cash we had. We wanted a safe place to stay until graduation. We thought if we finished school, we could start working and maybe build a life on our own." Anna's voice was soft. "We did not want to bring you trouble, Eric. We just wanted to survive." Eric leaned back in the chair, overwhelmed. He looked at them, then looked at the staircase where Zoe had disappeared moments earlier. His little girl was upstairs, probably scared, waiting for answers she did not understand. "You should have told me," Eric said again, his voice quiet. "I have a daughter to protect. If your mother finds you here, she will not think about the truth. She will attack first and ask questions later. Someone like her could ruin my life with one phone call. She could take Zoe from me. She could destroy everything." Anna stepped forward quickly. "We never wanted that," she said, her voice full of guilt. "We thought we would be gone before anyone found out. We thought we had time. We were wrong." "We understand if you want us to leave," Kate added. "We will go right now if that is what you want. We do not want to hurt you or Zoe. We just needed somewhere safe for a little while." Eric stared at the floor, trying to think clearly. He remembered the moment he walked in earlier, seeing Zoe laughing with them, feeling a sense of peace he had not felt in years. He remembered how they had helped around the house, how they cooked, how they were gentle with Zoe, how they respected the home. He also remembered the fear he saw in their eyes now. Real fear. The kind that came from being pushed into a corner. He stood up slowly. Anna and Kate froze. They were waiting for the verdict that could change everything. Eric walked to the bottom of the staircase and glanced upward, listening for Zoe. Then he turned back to the girls. "You cannot just leave like this," he said quietly. Anna blinked. "What do you mean? You two have been living here for days," he said. "You helped Zoe smile again. You helped me fix things in this house. You have done nothing but show kindness. I cannot just throw you out into the world with no money and no plan. I am not that kind of person." Kate covered her mouth, tears forming again. "Eric, are you saying we can stay?" Eric paced slowly around the living room, trying to find the right words. "I cannot promise the situation will be safe," he said. "If your mother finds you, she will come after me. She might bring lawyers, she might call the police, she might try to take my daughter. I am not blind to that." "We understand," Anna whispered. "But," Eric continued, "I also know what it means to feel trapped. I know what it means to lose someone. I know what it feels like when life goes dark. And I know what it means when someone gives you a chance when you have nothing." Anna and Kate watched him closely. "So listen carefully," Eric said. "You can stay, but we are going to have rules. There will be no more secrets. If anything happens, if someone follows you, if your mother sends someone, if you get any message at all, you tell me. No hiding anything." "We promise," Kate said quickly. "And," Eric added, "you help around the house, not because you owe me anything, but because we are a team now. We look out for each other." Anna wiped her face. "Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much." "Do not thank me yet," he said, "because I am terrified. But I am not going to turn my back on you, not when you clearly need help." The girls nodded, their expressions full of relief and fear at the same time. It was not safety, but it was a chance. Eric looked toward the stairs again. "I need to talk to Zoe. She is worried." Anna stepped forward. "Can we talk to her after you explain things?" Eric nodded. "Yes, we will all talk. But let me speak to her first." He climbed the stairs slowly, feeling the weight of the decision he had just made. He reached Zoe's room and knocked gently. "Daddy," her small voice called. Eric opened the door. Zoe was sitting on her bed, hugging her stuffed cat tightly. Her eyes were red from holding back tears. "Did I do something wrong?" she whispered. Eric shook his head and sat beside her. "No, sweetie, you did nothing wrong. Daddy just needed to talk to Anna and Kate. There are things going on that are a little complicated." Zoe leaned against him. "Are they leaving?" "Not tonight," Eric said softly, brushing her hair. "They are going to stay with us a little longer, but we all have to be careful." Zoe nodded slowly. She trusted him, and that trust hurt his heart, knowing he had to protect her from whatever storm was coming. After she calmed down, they went back downstairs. Anna and Kate were waiting nervously, standing near the couch, unsure of where they belonged. Zoe ran straight to them and hugged Anna's leg tightly. "I thought you were leaving." Anna knelt down, her voice gentle. "We are not leaving tonight, Zoe. We are staying. But we all have to look out for each other, just like your daddy said." Zoe nodded happily and hugged Kate too. Eric watched the scene quietly. Something inside him shifted. It was not comfort, not yet, but it was a feeling that he was doing the right thing, even if it scared him. Later that night, after Zoe went to sleep, Eric lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. His mind was full of worries. He knew trouble would come. Someone like Maria Coulson would not stop looking for her daughters. When she found them, everything would explode. But even with that fear, Eric felt a small voice inside him telling him that helping these girls mattered, that maybe, just maybe, this was the right thing to do. He closed his eyes slowly, hoping tomorrow would not bring disaster. But he also knew that whatever came next, he would face it, not just for himself, but for Zoe, Anna, and Kate. The decision was made. There was no turning back now. 3 weeks passed, and the house on Riverside Street became something new, something none of them expected. Anna and Kate fell into the routine of the home like they had lived there for years. They cooked, helped Zoe with her coloring homework, cleaned without being asked, and kept the house warm with laughter that had been missing since Grace died. Eric saw the changes every day. Zoe smiled more. She talked more. She slept better. The girls had become part of her little world, and even though Eric still feared what might come, he could not deny that their presence brought peace he never thought he would feel again. One Saturday morning, Eric was in the garage working on a bookshelf for a neighbor when he heard Zoe's laughter from the backyard. He wiped his hands on a cloth and walked to the doorway. He saw Zoe running in circles while Kate chased her gently. Anna was sitting on the grass, watching them with a soft smile. They looked happy, too happy for the danger they carried. Eric tried to focus on his work again, but his mind drifted. In those weeks, something else had changed too, something he was almost scared to admit to himself. His heart reacted to Anna in a way he had not felt since Grace passed away. When she laughed, he felt something warm inside. When she sat beside him during dinner, the room felt different. When she talked about her dreams, he wanted to listen. He tried to push those feelings away, telling himself it was wrong, too complicated, too risky. She was dealing with enough already. But feelings do not follow rules, and his heart paid no attention to fear. Later that evening, when Zoe had gone to sleep and the house was quiet, Eric stepped out onto the porch to sit for a moment and clear his mind. A few minutes later, the door opened quietly, and Anna stepped out. "Can I sit with you?" she asked. Eric nodded, and she sat beside him, close enough that their shoulders touched a little. It surprised him, but he did not move away. "I have been wanting to talk to you," Anna said softly. Eric looked at her. "What is on your mind?" Anna took a breath. "When Kate and I came here, we were just looking for a roof and a safe place to hide. But now it feels different. This house feels like a real home. You treat us kindly. Zoe treats us like family. And it has been a long time since I felt this kind of peace." Eric swallowed. "I am glad you feel safe here," he said quietly. "Even if I am scared every day that your mother will find you." Anna nodded. "I know, and I am sorry for the danger we brought. But there is something else I need to tell you. Something I have been holding back because I did not want to make things harder." Eric turned to her slowly. "What is it?" Anna looked down at her hands. When she spoke, her voice was gentle but full of emotion. "I think I am falling in love with you." The words caught Eric like a punch to the chest. For a second, he could not breathe. He stared at her, shocked, unsure what to say. She kept talking, her hands trembling. "I know it is fast. I know it is complicated. I know we come with problems no one should have to deal with, but I cannot pretend anymore. You are kind, you listen, you protect people, you take care of Zoe with so much love. And you make me feel like I matter. No one has ever made me feel that before." Eric breathed out slowly. his heart pounding. "Anna, I am not rich. I cannot give you the life your family can. I am a teacher who struggles to pay bills. I sleep on a couch that hurts my back. I have a daughter who needs stability. And I am still learning how to open my heart again." Anna looked up at him. "I do not care about money or status. I want kindness. I want safety. I want to choose my own life. And if you will let me, I want that life here with you." Eric took her hand. It was shaking. So was his. "I do not know where this is going," he said, "but I care about you too. More than I expected. More than I wanted to at first. But it happened anyway." Anna smiled, tears filling her eyes. Then she leaned forward and kissed him, soft and unsure. Eric kissed her back, letting go of the wall he had been holding for years. When they pulled apart, Anna rested her head on his shoulder. Eric closed his eyes. For the first time in so long, he felt alive. They kept their relationship quiet at first, trying not to confuse Zoe or worry Kate. But Zoe was no fool. 3 days later, during breakfast, she pointed her spoon at Eric and said, "Daddy, you keep smiling at Anna. You do not smile like that at anyone else." Anna nearly dropped her cup. Eric turned bright red. Kate burst into laughter. Zoe kept staring at Eric. "Are you going to marry her?" Eric choked on his coffee. "Penny, slow down. Her name is Zoe," and she frowned. "I think you should marry her. Then she can be my new mommy." Anna covered her face. Kate laughed harder. Eric shook his head, trying not to smile. "We are taking things slow," he said gently. "Boring," Zoe replied, and went back to eating her cereal. Their peace did not last forever. One afternoon in late March, Eric was grading papers at the kitchen table while the girls were at the University of Florida for exams and Zoe was at school. The house was quiet until he heard cars stopping outside. Not one car, several. He stood up and looked out the window. A black limousine was parked in the driveway. Behind it were 2 black SUVs. Men in suits stepped out, moving around the property. It felt like the air had left the room. Then the limousine door opened, and a woman stepped out, Maria Coulson. Eric froze. His heart hammered painfully. It was happening. The moment he had feared. A hard knock sounded at the door. Eric forced himself to open it. "Mr. Mason," she said, walking in without waiting. Her voice was firm, and she carried herself like someone used to getting whatever she wanted. Her eyes scanned the living room quickly. "Where are my daughters?" Eric swallowed. "They are at school. And they are adults," he added. "They do not belong to anyone." Maria turned her sharp eyes on him. "I know they are here. My investigators saw them entering this house. I want them back." Eric stepped in front of her. "You cannot force them. They are not running away from home for fun. They are scared of you." Maria narrowed her eyes. "Be careful, Mr. Mason. Men like you do not understand the world I come from." Eric held his ground. "I understand enough. I know what fear looks like. And your daughters look like 2 people who were punished for making their own choices." Maria looked around again, her jaw tightened. "And what do you gain from helping them? Money, credit, access to my family's wealth?" Eric felt insulted. "I gain nothing. I did this because they were sleeping in a car, and because no father would want his daughter forced into a life she does not want." There was a long silence. Finally, Maria said quietly, "You care about Anna." Eric did not deny it. "Yes, I do." Maria looked down at one of Zoe's drawings on the table. Something in her expression softened, just a little. A moment later, the front door opened again. Anna and Kate stood there, shocked, frozen in fear. "Mother," Anna whispered. Maria looked at her daughters. They stared back at her, waiting for the anger they expected. Instead, Maria took a breath and said something none of them imagined. "I am not here to force you home. I am here to apologize." Anna covered her mouth. Kate looked confused. Eric stood still, not trusting the moment. Maria stepped closer to them. "I have made choices that hurt you. I did not listen. I tried to control everything because I was afraid of losing what I built. But I lost something more important. I lost your trust." Anna's voice trembled. "You froze our accounts. You tried to force a marriage." Maria nodded slowly. "I was wrong. Your accounts will be restored today. You may finish school. You may choose your own path. And if you choose to stay with Mr. Mason, then I will not stand in your way." Anna burst into tears and ran into her mother's arms. Kate joined them. The three of them held each other, crying in a way that carried years of hurt. Eric stepped back, giving them space. His chest tightened with relief. A few months later, Anna and Kate graduated. Zoe insisted on wearing her sparkly dress to cheer for them. Eric stood in the crowd, clapping until his hands hurt. That night, after everyone went home, Eric took Anna to the porch. "Anna," he said quietly, "will you stay here with me and Zoe? We can build something new, something real." Anna smiled and nodded. "I want that more than anything." Eric pulled out a small ring he had saved for. Anna gasped, covering her mouth. "Anna Coulson, will you marry me?" "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, yes." They kissed as Zoe ran out, yelling, "Daddy, is Anna going to be my mommy now?" Anna knelt down, tears in her eyes. "Only if you want me to be." Zoe hugged her tightly. "I want that more than anything." 6 months later, they had a small wedding in the backyard. Kate stood as maid of honor. Zoe scattered petals. Even Maria sat in the second row, watching with soft eyes. In that simple backyard, surrounded by people who fought for each other, Eric realized something he never expected. Family is not always the one you are born into. Sometimes it is the one you choose. And sometimes it is the one that chooses you.